Thank you, Priya. Thank you so much. So I've been hearing many of the other presenters and talk, not only from Idea Splash, the others also. A lot of currents are connecting, to what I'm going to say. So I'm really quite pleased and thrilled about that. Yeah, so I'm going to speak about dreams and dreaming. And so my fascination with and engagement with dreams started a very long time back, at almost 3 decades back. And very casually I got into it and then got trained in it and started working a lot on my own dreams, and a lot of other people who come to me to discuss dreams. And just a couple of years back, I got introduced to the concept of dreaming as different from dreams, and I said, "Wow, this is something new." And therefore, I'm struck by it, and I'm continuously working on that at present. Before I go ahead, I just want to say that I have had a lot of teachers who taught me, who walked with me, who helped me to develop my understanding and my skills on working with dreams. Three of the masters that are always there with me, I just wanted to mention here before I go ahead. One is, of course, Carl Gustav Jung, Jungian psychology, and I actually started there to work with dreams. And then Mindel came to me. And this was like Anand Mindel, Arnie we call him. And something is coming on this.
Anuradha ma'am, that's only for the musical interlude.
Yeah.
You can please continue.
Okay. So then Arnie Mindel came to me 3 years back, and I got introduced to the whole concept of dreaming. And more so, just about 6 months back, got in touch with the Yoga Sutras through Raghu Anantanarayan. And then my whole world opened up. And I just felt this is something that I must share with everybody. And that's why I'm here. So I would like to start by sharing about one dream. Am I sharing the screen? You can see it?
Yes, ma'am, we're able to see.
Can you see? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we can. So this is a dream that happened to me a long time back, and just to share a little bit of the dream. And this drawing is the painting which I had done of the dream at that time, because drawing a dream really brings it more alive, and a lot of things which you have not remembered will come up when you draw, because when you draw, again, a deeper part of your unconscious comes into the paper. So not that I'm a great painter or drawer, but I just do it. So this is the painting which I had done there at that time. And the dream is that there is this circle of a tent of marigold flowers, beautiful orange and yellow marigold flower strings. And in this tent, there's a group of women dancing in a circle. And they're all wearing ghagra cholis and all that, and they're dancing. And then right opposite that, there is another tent, again of flowers. And in between, inside that, there is a temple, and a very small, ancient temple made of stone, just 4-5 steps, which roughly cut steps, which leads into the temple. And at the start of at the doorway, there's this old woman sitting there. And she's dressed in a ghagra and quite old. And then this little girl comes up to her, about 6 years old, and this girl asks, "Main andar aun?" And then this old woman says, "Nahi, rehne de, tu gadbad karegi." So just to translate it to English for people who don't understand Hindi. So the little girl asks, "Can I come in?" And this old lady says, "No, you will disturb." Or gadbad karegi means, yeah, you will disturb or you will create, it will be problematic. That is the dream. And so I worked for a very long time with this dream, did the drawing, worked with my analyst, and then I saw that at that point of time in my life, I was having a lot of issues with my my whole biological system.
Anu, can you show the presentation mode? Can you show into presentation mode?
Presentation mode, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. One second. Is this okay? Okay, yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, so I was so at that time I was having this lot of issues with my body, and I was wondering what to do about it. And then I had this dream, and then at that time the way the dream spoke to me was that I should not interfere with my system, with my biological system, because the doctors were asking me to do all sorts of interventions, and I was saying no, let me think about it. And then this dream happened, and I said no, I'm not going to do anything, and I just left it there. And here I am, quite healthy, quite happy. So really the dream led me. The dream talked to me of what I should be doing at that particular point of time. And then just to say a little bit, very quickly, about what are dreams. I believe that dreams are messages from our unconscious. It's calling for attention to a particular life process that's going on at that particular point of time. So it's very important to understand what's happening to me in the real world at this time, and why has this dream come to me, and what does this dream mean. And the dream language of the dream is through symbols, images, and metaphors. So it's not through the rational language of English or Kannada or Telugu or whatever I speak. That doesn't help here, because each symbol that comes up in the dream has a different meaning. For example, going back to this dream, what does this old woman signify for me? What does this young girl signify for me? Just as an example. So at that time, the old woman was this wise wisdom which is there within me, the wise woman which is there within me, and which I had to access. This little girl was the science and technology which is there, which is inviting me to do something. And then this wise old woman within me says, no, this is not the time for it. So just stay away from it. So something like that, So every symbol, every image in the dream will speak to you at that particular context in one's life. It's very important for me for you all to understand that at that particular context, what does it mean? Because later on in my talk, I will say a little more about what is context about. Okay, so that is a little bit about what are dreams, and then I also want to talk very quickly about the self ego axis. This is again coming from the Jungian understanding of Jungian psychology for me. It is that the identity of every person consists of two centers of organization. One is that of the self. The self is the whole part of the self, the conscious, unconscious, everything together. Center of the conscious part. So throughout this first phase of one's life, the early phase of one's life, one is going towards developing this ego. Ego means and separating ego from the self. So really developing an identity for oneself, being something in the world, so that people recognize you. So you're developing your education, your home, your whatever it may be, that I, that whole thing of I, that ego. So that separation happens. And then at a later part of your life, it comes back to the union. The ego comes back into the self, and then your focus on the unconscious and how you can gain and access the unconscious comes back. And I believe that the earlier dream that I was talking about happened because I was ready for this union at that time. I was about 44 years old. And so it made a lot of sense because of this work. And then now I would go into, so what is dreaming then? Spoke very quickly about dreams and what is dreaming. And I believe dreaming is a very deep dive into the self. And to the self, I mean, again, the whole self. Yeah. And this picture, this painting you saw, it's not drawn by me, but it's drawn by a friend on my asking, because I said, this is what I'm dreaming about. And then she drew this painting for me. And I keep it always with me and say, always go deep, go into yourself. And how do you go into yourself is what I'm going to talk about. So what is dreaming?
Go with your
Sorry, this thing is disturbing me a lot. This breakout rooms thing is disturbing me a lot. Please stop that. Thank you so much. Yeah. So what is dreaming? So dreaming is really an altered space. So it's neither you're asleep nor you're awake, and you're at an edge. Yeah, you're an edge between this and that. And below and behind this, I also want to speak about a little bit about nature, because I mean, Chetan spoke about it beautifully. Sanjay spoke about it. Nature is ever moving, it's ever changing. It is continuous and is active. So it's not static. And so are we. We are also below the surface, unknown to us. We are moving, we are changing, and it is continuous, it's happening. And there is this connecting to this pulsating, ever moving flow, which is beneath the surface, and being simultaneously connected to it, conscious of it. That is dreaming, where the seer, that is the drishta, and the seen, that is the drishti, both come together. And how do we develop that is something not difficult, but yes, we have to be very actively pursuing it. And I would talk about that also. So also the dreaming is a verb, means it is action. Yeah, it is happening. We dip into the flow, whereas the dream is a noun, it has happened. So we are analyzing, working on a dream which has happened. And dreaming is in the here and now. Right now, I'm sitting here, something is happening below the surface. There's a beautiful quote by Anand Mindal, who says, dreaming is the mystical source of reality. So reality and mystical source is very below the surface, which is not through any sensing that you get in touch with, and that is what dreaming does to you. And so some tips for dreaming from my own experience of how I've done it over so many months now. There are many ways of engaging with your dreaming and the process of dreaming, and exploring it. Like it can be like, so what flirts with the eye? So I'm looking around and I'm saying, there's something which flirts with the eye from out of, it's not in my conscious mind, but I know this is flirting with me. And then going into that, working further into that. Active imagination, visualizing something, body work, as Sanjot was talking about, drawing, meditation, music, art. It can be any method which takes you into an altered state, which takes you to an altered state, which helps you to withdraw your senses from the outside, pratyahara, as we call it in yoga, in Antara yoga, which withdraws it and helps you go within and connect to the deep inward part of you. And then, most important, to suspend judgment and accept our deeper inner processes. Don't judge about it. Don't say, oh, how can this happen? Because our rational mind will not allow us. So suspend judgment and accept the deeper inner process. And then become very subtle. Bring up images, sit with them, and for a long time, work with them. I've seen that at the first instance, it doesn't make any sense to me. But after a lot of time of working with it again and again, just within myself, quiet time, finding the time, and then comes the aha moment, and the meaning emerges. And when the meaning emerges, there is this brightness in your face, brightness in yourself, and it's beautiful that point of time. So having shared a little bit about dreaming, I want to give some experiences of dreaming and very simple, quick examples. So this is one of the experiences I want to share is about a meditation which happened about 2 months back, and I was doing some meditation. It was a guided meditation, of course. And this picture that you see on the left side is a mandala, which was done by a very dear friend, Hema Badlani Patil, and she was part of my my cohort when I was studying the process work, and she had done this mandala at that time. But this was almost 3 years back. And the dream the meditation I did was just 2 months back, and somehow what happened in my meditation in this picture came together for me, and then I said, let me use this to explain. So in the meditation, I'm going deep into my garbhagriha, that is the womb, and when I enter the womb, it is very dark, and I go in, and it's a very simple structure, an age-old stone, dark lit. I'm reading from my notes, that's why, dark lit by beautiful oil lamps. And at the center, the goddess is there, and she's resplendent in an orange and red bordered sari, thick lock braided hair, black braided hair, lots of white flowers all over with that scent of the white flowers. And she's sitting on a throne full of flowers. There's nothing there, and there's a pool of holy water. And she looks as if she's floating in the water. And I go in, I bow to her, and then she says to me, I'm here, go forth. And then I wake up. I just suddenly come out of that meditation. And I say, given my life situation and my context at this particular point of time, this meditation, this vision, it's guiding me to go into something which I'm hesitating to do. And tell you the truth, doing this session, I got confidence because of this dream, because she said, go ahead. Otherwise, I would never come out so openly and talk about these things. So it is, so I received guidance from my body. Yeah. And that is what dreaming is all about.
Okay.
Yes, Sushma. I know, Sushma. I'm just
Yeah,
completing.
okay,
I won't
thank
go
you.
into my next. I won't go into
Yeah.
my next example. I had one more, but
No,
just